Here we are, Jev. Welcome back to Hook, Line and Sinker, round 20 preview, and we will review round 19, Jev. For anyone that is new to the show, what we do, we go through all the lines, so not just the head-to-head bets, so where the line is at. I will yell out the games to Jev. He will have a guess where the line is at. We will also go through a hook, so a leg that we might like throughout the week, and a sinker, a leg maybe or most likely to stay away from. But first of all, Jev, how are you, my good man?
I am great, Das. I cannot believe it's round 20 already. It is unbelievable. I remember doing this show like round 4s, round 5s, everything, and we still haven't hit a 9-legger yet, for fuck's sake. I was just having a look at last week and we were chatting before we got on the show. We got the first game of the week wrong. We both took Essendon plus 23.5, and we got the last game of the week wrong. St Kilda minus 10.5. Apart from that, we were cash. Carlton minus 65.5 at $1.90, tick. Brisbane plus 5.5 at the Gabba, tick. Collingwood with points is always a green tick. Sydney plus 17.5, they won outright. GWS plus 7.5, tick. Adelaide plus 37.5, tick. I took Richmond, you took Hawthorn, both tick.
It was a pretty interesting game. Like, the bookies actually did pretty well on these lines, Jev. So if I look at the actual lines that I took, so not the alternate line. So if I talk about the actual lines for anyone listening, it's about the $1.90, so the exact split. But we try and tease them into $1.30 to make our multi a little bit better. Brisbane only winning by what they win by, like 11.
Yeah.
The actual line was 13.5.
Yeah. So
if you took Collingwood at the line, Jev, the line was 2.5.
So you could have covered Collingwood minus 2 or plus 2?
They were minus 2.5. So they
lost. Covered with Port. You could have covered the line by taking the Port Adelaide line. When the game starts, sorry, you go.
Yeah, it's amazing how some of the games, they just get it absolutely bang on, Jev.
It's
like even the Carlton one, like we should have won by over 100-ish points, but because of some of the injuries, it's come back. We only win by 71, 65. The biggest one of the week, Jev, most disappointing, is the Bombers. Plus 3.5. They've been usually keeping it quite close, and they got absolutely smashed against the Dogs, didn't they?
They did. 100% they did.
Very, very shit performance by them. So I'll be looking to bounce back this week, Jev. Let's get into this week of footy. Friday night, I should probably be a little bit more pumped up than I am. We just have a lot of injuries. I'm still not sure who's going to come back in. It's just one of those games, Jev, you just want all teams firing, cracking into this game. They probably just keep getting it done. Depends on who we have. But, Jev, big Friday night game, Collingwood and Carlton.
Jeez, this is massive. Like, absolutely massive. I've heard it's been sold out for fucking weeks. I can't wait. Yeah. We're going to watch this together. I'm going to film you, watch the game, and crack the shits a couple of times. I think Collingwood are absolute certainties, though. Absolute certainties. I'm hearing on the radio today, so you got no Walsh and no Silvani, definitely, for the next 3 weeks, no Walsh.
Yeah.
Cripps and Chera have question marks. They're not certainties to play. And then if they're not playing against the Pies, you're absolutely no chance. You'd think Cripps would play, but he's apparently no moral. But I'm going to say the line's probably a little more than you think because it's the Pies. I'm going to say it's about 20.5, Das.
It's 16.5, Jev.
16.5. So, yeah, it's pretty fair, pretty reasonable. Having a look now, yeah, $1.36 for Collingwood to win. I can already tell you that is my side to be on. I think there's more chance of Collingwood blowing the Blues out than there are of the Blues winning the game. What about you?
Well, you can either go Collingwood, Jev, $1.30. It's not even $1.36 to get plus 1.5. So just in case of a Hail Mary at the end, you get the extra 1.5. Or you can take the Blues plus 34.5. As you said, Jev, Pies are most likely just going to win this game.
Are you going to take the Pies, unfortunately?
Unfortunately, I'm going to take the Blues plus 34.5.
Oh, yeah. Is that what your points say? Is that what the line on stuff says?
So Collingwood are above Carlton.
Yeah.
On the ladder. So Collingwood is second, Carlton are third. So Collingwood are plus 146.
Yeah.
Carlton are plus 138. So then you add the points either way. So the line's 16.5. So we take 16.5 off Collingwood's 146 and we add. So it says Carlton are just a little bit above. So
right. So you're going to take the bags. I don't mind that. Do you remember that you were there this game last time? They beat you so easily, didn't they?
Yeah, I reckon that was a bit of a mulligan. Look at the last two games before that. The
Yeah,
teams aren't too similar. I know Collingwood are in a much like they're just the best team at the moment. But it
yeah,
was 1 point and then 4 points. So
yeah. No, I agree.
I think
35
34 is a lot.
it's fucking exciting. Like this is like the Blues grand final. Like this is huge
Yeah.
for them. They want to make finals. Heard Jared Waitley say today on the radio, like Carlton can drop this game and still there's a path for finals with their upcoming fixture. But as a Blues fan, you'd love to see him just bet. Imagine the belief you guys start going. You beat Collingwood Friday night.
Well, the only thing for me is because, as you said, Jev, is a little bit of a grand final. If the Pies are up by a lot, what do they have get by continuing to just
Yeah,
crack into four quarters? They'll withdraw a little bit.
yeah,
They've got bigger plans. Like they're prelim bound.
yeah,
Like or at
yeah,
the moment, grand final. But for us, we still need to scratch and claw to try and get these few points because we're
yeah,
in that middle pack. So look for us to continue to push the entire length of the game.
yeah.
That's why I think 34.5 points is
Especially,
actually
especially with
big.
the points in that middle pack, percentage is the fucking key as well, isn't it? You can't leave points on the board. So 34.5 is a great side to be on. I just think Collingwood win the game, so
Yeah.
I'm going to be on that side.
Yeah, well, hey, both can easily win.
Correct.
Both can easily win. So you're going to go the Pies. I'm going to go the Blues. Jev, next game, GMHBA. I know Freo have played pretty well here last couple of years. I remember they got that one. Blake Acres got best on in that upset game, I think round 3 last year. But Jev, Geelong at home, Fremantle are looking like an absolute rabble. Where do you see this line?
Fuck. It's going to be pumped up because it's in Geelong. It's got to be 30.5, doesn't it? Geelong minus 30.5.
42.5.
Fuck, that is so much.
Yeah.
It's like Freo still have talent on the park. I know they said Sean Darcy and Nat Fyfe are out for the year this year, but they won at GMHBA last year. But they're just so like Geelong's midfield is still not that good. Max Holmes and stuff got smashed by the Lions. If Dangerfield didn't play that game, it would have been 10 goals, I reckon. You bring Brayshaw and Sarong there and Luke Jackson, like, fuck. I'm definitely going to be on Geelong. Don't worry about that.
Yeah,
So I know back against Geelong at GMHBA, but that is so many points, 42.5. But then again, this could be a 100-pointer.
I think that they've packed up for the year, Freo. I think that they get absolutely spanked. Last time Max Holmes and stuff had one of that negative games, Chris Scott had a chat to him, and then the next week he had an absolute blinder. Like they still know what's at risk. And can you imagine being a Freo player? You've just been spanked. You're coming over to an undone fucking GMHBA stadium where there's about 8,000 Geelong fans. It's going to be cold. The Cats are just going to dominate. And I absolutely love watching that Tom Stewart in the midfield. He's a gun. Like,
He is
just
such a gun.
put all the good players there. Like, just get those guys around it. So that could actually be a little bit of a hook, Jev. Obviously, disposals. He's had a couple of 40 disposals games, Tom Stewart. So don't be surprised if he goes into the midfield that he maybe gets a few more clearances. They rest him behind the ball. He could be paying a lot for 40 disposals. I actually have a quick look now. But that would be my hook for this one, just to play around with it. 40 disposals, 34-1.
Hello. Little fiver on that.
30 at $35 is 9.75.
What can I get for $1.30, Das?
$1.30, just having that just there. So either Geelong minus 23.5 or Freo plus 61.
Yeah, you got to take the Cats. You got to take the Cats. I could see him they bet winning by 100. You could see him punishing the Dockers. Justin Longmill has to nearly get fired at the end of the year, doesn't he?
Well, he's not really saying too much. He doesn't. Yeah, who knows? Like, unless there's one of those contracts with him, and they're like, yeah, no, look, we see direction, but you never know what's going on inside the walls. But
we don't really hear much of the footy stuff from Perth, hey. But if Ken Hinkley, I've said this before, if Dimmer Hardwick was the coach of Freo, I reckon they can win a flag in 3 years. Like, they've got to at least flirt with one of these guys. They're going to call Dimmer and say, hey, if you're not going to Gold Coast, here's a contract we'd offer you. Or call fucking Ken Hinkley and say, hey, if you're not that keen on Port Adelaide, here's the contract we're offering you. I would try and get a big, big fish. But anyway.
The best thing is with Dimmer, if you got one of those, or like him as coach, you know he's going to bring a good team with him.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the best thing about coaching style. Like, they can go bring teams with you. But, Jev, in this game, Geelong, I think they're going to get back to good form. I know Hawkins didn't kick 2 last week, Jev. You better believe he'll be repaying the boys this week.
He has to be a certainty at GMHBA. He's such a gun there.
Has to be. Jev, now, there's about 3 or 4 games I'm so excited for this week. Actually, probably 5. This is one of them. Bulldogs, GWS.
Yeah, it's at Ballarat, though, isn't it? It's at Mars Stadium.
I fucking hate Mars Stadium.
Yeah, it's no good. So it makes the game all funny, but I'm thinking...
Disposal's low, everyone. Disposal's low. There's been a lot of times I've backed players there, and they like Bailey Smith 2019, Libba 25, 23.
Yeah. I reckon Bond had like 22 once. I reckon the Dogs are going to be... I reckon it should be pretty much pick 'em, $1.80, $1.80, but the Dogs, because it's at Mars, will get about 4.5 points. So I go Bulldogs minus 4.5.
Bulldogs minus 9.5.
9.5. Geez, I don't know what side I'm going to be on. Like, GWS haven't lost by 9.5 in like 8 weeks. They keep every game close. They either win or keep it close. Like, they're unbelievable at keeping games close. What can I get for $1.30?
$1.30, Jev. Bulldogs plus 8.5 or GWS plus 27.5.
Give me every one of those 27 points. That is I reckon that's one of the lines. It's a hard one with the Dogs, though. Like we said, Essendon was the side to be on, and then the Dogs blew them out by 40 points. Because they're so talented. When they beat sides, it can get ugly quick. But when's the last time GWS got blown out or didn't cover the fucking 30-point line? The $1.31.
I just think when you look at the Bulldogs play, sometimes at those outdoor like under the lid and stuff, they can move the ball really quickly. The ball's going to be zipping around like outdoors a little bit more. Don't you think Sam Taylor's going to have a field day? Like, doesn't matter who he plays on. Like, I don't think he can. Their back line is extremely sound.
Yeah.
And they're fucking quick from stoppages like the Dogs, but they just go, and their ground is a lot like Ballarat.
Yeah. I agree with all that.
I think it's going to be a bit scrappy, but I think the Giants just muscle this one out head to head.
Toby Green absolutely dog-walked Ben Long on the weekend, kicked 3 goals for him, then just got subbed off to get a rest, ready for this game. And then,
was this the game? Was this a game last year? He kicked fucking 10 against them.
Yeah, he kicked. Remember,
like 8?
He kicked 7 and Waitman kicked 5 or something. That was in Canberra, but that was unbelievable, that game.
That's right.
But also, Sam Taylor was that good against the Suns. They couldn't kick the ball to Ben King. I might have said this on the Sunday race. I was watching it. David King was commentating. Every time the Suns kicked it to Ben King, Sam Taylor would win the contest, win the ball back for the Giants with efficiency, and they'd take it the other end, kick a goal. He was playing that well. So, like, I think Aaron Norton's the most overrated player in the league as it is. I can just see Sam Taylor on him and just bathing him. Yeah, that Giants plus 27.5 does. I absolutely love those points.
So do I. I think everything's just going to tighten up at this end of the year. You know, we haven't had a lot of upsets, have we?
Nah. This could be 6th versus 7th. First final right here. 6th versus 7th.
And these games are pretty good to predict. If you can get a team with a lot of points, Jev, you know teams are going to be giving out 4-quarter effort. So I'm with you on that one. We'll be taking the Giants plus 27.5. A good one, Jev. People like to play good on the same sort of teams.
Yeah, for sure.
Charlie kicked fucking 19 against West Coast. Like, it just, these two teams, Bond's going to have a lot of it and Toby Green's going to have a lot of it. The two captains, Jev, I reckon let's build around them in the personals. Next game, Gold Coast, Brisbane. Up on the Gold Coast.
Oh, fuck. I think they might have chucked the season in the Suns. I reckon they're cooked. I don't know what it is. I reckon they're cooked. They're in a bad way right now. Oh, I don't know. It's fucking hard. I'm going to say the Lions are favoured by about 20 points, Das.
Yeah, 21.5.
Yeah.
I reckon that's bang on.
Yeah, bang on. Suns are good up there, but, geez, I think Brisbane's the side to be on.
Mm-hmm.
Brisbane just win games at the moment. They just win football games. So I'm getting $1.30 for Brisbane head-to-head. What can I get for Gold Coast for $1.30?
Yep. Gold Coast plus 40.5 or Brisbane $1.31. I got minus 3.5.
Yeah. So you might as well just take Brisbane straight head-to-head at $1.30. Don't even worry about those 3 points. What's your ladder saying? Is it saying take the Suns or is it saying take the Lions?
Yeah, it says take take Brisbane. Brisbane are fifth on 94 plus points, and Gold Coast are 11th on -10. So even putting those points into like, you give Gold Coast the plus 21.5, it only gets them into like 11 plus. And then Brisbane, you take off the 21.5, they're still well ahead. So it's saying take Brisbane. I'm very confident in Brisbane,
Yeah, they've
and
won
I'll be
9
taking.
in a row. Look at now, they've won 9 in a row against Gold Coast. They've hit their over against Gold Coast, and Gold Coast has failed to cover the line each of its last 4 matches as an underdog. I'm just taking the Lions, $1.30 head to head. They're prelim bound, the Lions. Gold Coast look a bit cooked. They need a new coach. They need a culture change. So yeah,
How's that? How's that? Brisbane have won 7 of its last 8 matches against Gold Coast by a margin of 40
yeah,
plus.
they always pump them.
Ev, that's paying $3.
Oh, come on. Hello.
If you like, I don't think it's going to be a smashing, but I do like Brisbane head to head.
Yeah, we'll just take the Lions head to head.
They just get that done. Next game, Jev. This is an interesting one. Essendon, Sydney. What are you thinking?
Marvel Stadium. This I have been trying. I know this game's coming, but I stay off sports bet for this show.
Why are you guys at Marvel? Why you were at the G last year and it was a
Yeah,
cracking
and it
game?
was Saturday after. I couldn't go because I was playing footy, and now we're at fucking Marvel again.
Why?
I don't know. Fucking Marvel. Fuck, the warehouse is shit. I like the G so much more.
Yeah,
I've been
geez,
thinking
so
about this one all week. So Essendon is still in the 8. Swans aren't, but the Swans are in better form right now than the Bombers. But I think the Bombers have to. So it should be about Pick'em, $1.80 to $1.80. But I think the Bombers will be favoured by about 5.5 points.
uh, you guys are favourite by 1.5.
Wow, so we are favourites. It's just
Which
showing like,
I'm not surprised. You guys have been doing really well.
yeah, it just like the Swan season has been like, how often have the bookies favoured us all year? Like
All year.
you can tell people still believe in us. We just haven't had a great season, but like we're still like sort of the side to be on. So it's a bit hard. Like this is a hard line. Like the better side to be on is probably the Bombers under the lid against a team they're higher on the ladder than. But you know it's hard to bet against the Swans right now. What can I get for $1.30?
$1.30, Essendon plus 20.5 or Sydney plus 17.5.
Yeah, both probably win.
I
I'm
think
going
it'll
to
be
take the Swan side of it though, Das. As a
yeah.
supporter, I'm going to take the
I,
Swans.
I would as well if I was you. I'm only taking Essendon just because they're a little bit higher on the ladder and it's telling me to take it. But Essendon have come down a lot. They were near top 2, 3 for ages because they kept winning at the start and they got given heaps of points.
Yeah,
While you guys were the opposite. You guys were losing these games and you were like so far ahead, like in
yeah,
points. Like you guys were -30, you're
yeah.
winning by 10, and that it just adds up. So I think it will be a close game. Hopefully there's a bit in it 3/4 time and it's a bit of an arm wrestle the last quarter. So I think 3 goals either way for both of us, Jev.
Yeah,
I think we get over the line in this one.
yeah. Let's go.
This next one, the showdown, Jev. This is a fucking
This is a
interesting game.
cracker.
Adelaide and Port Adelaide.
Wow, Adelaide just got them. They just beat them easily last time. They absolutely outplayed them. Then Port went on that winning streak from there, won their next 14 games or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon Port have to be favoured in this game because Adelaide is starting to get a bit injured, a bit worn down. I'm going to say Port by about 8.5 points to us.
Yeah, Port Adelaide -17.5.
Wow, 3 whole goals. Well, we know for a fact you don't bet against the Crows at Adelaide Oval. So having those 3 goals is fucking nice. I can already tell you right now, even though I think Port Adelaide are going to win, I would definitely lean that Crows side for sure. They've already beaten Port Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. They've beaten Brisbane at Adelaide Oval. They've basically beaten Collingwood at Adelaide Oval. That is. I know Rankin's
No
injured.
rank, no ranking, no Rochelle for one more week.
Yeah, no Rochelle, no Rankin. Is Rory Laird back? We'll see. Yeah. What can I get for $1.30?
This is the only game so far that you cannot do the pick your own line.
Right. So they must be waiting for the teams like they were
Yeah.
last week. Stewie just
So all I'm doing, Adelaide are on top of my ladder, by the way, guys. They're at 190 plus points. Next is Collingwood, 146. Even on the weekend, they were negative points, but they beat Melbourne at the line on
yeah.
our $1.30 because they only lost by a few points. So in this one, guys, I will just be taking, because you can only take head to head. I'm taking the Power at $1.41. They're not going to lose 3 games in a row. Obviously, they lost to Carlton, lost to Collingwood last week. They're going to want that second spot, Jev, because they do not want to go to Brisbane. It's out of those two. Like, are you going to Brisbane? Are you going to Gabba? Or are
Yeah.
you going to Adelaide Oval? Either way, they don't want to be playing each other at their home field. You want to win that, go straight into a prelim. I think Port just get it done, Jev. They're a fucking good side.
In handicap markets right here, Das on Sportsbet, there's a market called plus 39.5, and I can get Adelaide at $1.28 plus 39.5. I'm going to
Right.
take that. The Crows don't get blown out. Jordan Dawson is too good of an on-field captain. They just do not get blown out.
I'll just take Port head to head. I don't see them losing this game.
All right, sweet. I would too, but I love the Crows point. Yeah, Port
Oh,
$1.40 or Adelaide plus 40. I'm going to take the Crows side because I can see them winning. Even though I think Port are going to win, I can see the Crows winning. I can't see them getting blown out. I'm going to take the
yeah.
Crows.
Next game, Jev. This is a cracker. These next 3 games. This whole round is actually so fucking good. The only shit game I just the Geelong game, I reckon. But Hawthorn St Kilda.
Hawthorn St Kilda. Is it at the G? Because it's Hawthorn. They played at Marvel earlier. It has to be at the G.
Yes, it is at the G.
Hawthorn
No, it's a Marvel.
smash.
It's at Marvel.
Why? Should be at the G. There must be another game on the G.
Yeah, no, because Richmond, Melbourne are on.
No.
Yeah, sorry, it is at Marvel. Damn it.
But
Anyway.
Hawthorn did beat him at Marvel last time. Remember that was an absolute multi-killer. That's when the Hawks were going pretty average and we're sort of like, Saints, we all bet on Sinclair to have 25. They sort of tagged Sinclair. McGuinness went to him. Sicily had one of the best fucking individual games ever. Remember he had like 42 or something?
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Ah, God. I can tell you I'm probably going to be on the Hawks side because I reckon it's going to be St Kilda minus about 12.5.
Minus 3.5.
Yeah, everyone knows. Like, Hawthorn are, well, not clearly, but Hawthorn are the third worst side in the AFL and St Kilda are in the 8, and they're only getting 3.5 points. Like,
Well,
that is fucked.
I just think that obviously the Hawks have a bit of a blueprint.
Yes.
They're gonna want to win this game. Who's the Saints' best player? Who you put McGuinness to? Sinclair?
Yep.
Yeah, he can tag people out of a fucking game. So you follow Sinclair around. You've got Rowan Marshall to try and look after. No Brad Hill this week. They've got Jack Billings back in the side who I do not rate.
Oh.
I think the Hawks are going to have a good crack. They're struggling. Saints are struggling to score. Big Mitchy Lewis, Jev. Luke Bruce.
Yeah. No,
I
I
like
couldn't
the
agree
midfield.
more.
Will Day's going to have a big game. I
I
like the
couldn't agree more.
Hawks.
I like the Hawks head to head.
The Hawks are high on my ladder, Jev. The Hawks are 6th.
Yeah.
And the Saints are 14th.
Like,
So
St Kilda are 6 on the ladder. Like, I'm looking at the ladder. St Kilda are 6th. Hawthorn are 16th, right? And it's at St Kilda's home ground, Marvel Stadium. If you go one spot down, what would the line be if it was Giants at home against North Melbourne? It'd be about
Giants of 35
it'd be like
points.
40.5. And we're getting 3.5 for St Kilda at home against Hawthorn. 10 ladder spots difference. It just doesn't make sense to me, Dobe. It just shows the bookies do not rate the Saints, and either do we. What can I get for $1.30, Das?
Hawthorn plus 22.5 or St Kilda plus 14.5.
I'm taking the Hawks every day in the week.
Yeah, we are, baby. There we go. That's a good pick. That is a good pick, Jev.
Let's go.
This is a fucking good pick. Hawks plus 22.5, $1.30. Come on.
What about Hawks
Next game.
head to head?
Next game, Jev. Here we go. Richmond, Melbourne.
Yeah, fucking cracker. Absolute cracker. 2 just MCG home teams. I reckon the line has to be. Melbourne will be favourites, but it won't be that much. It'll only be about 8.5 points, I reckon.
12.5.
12.5. I've been alright. Not great today. 12.5. 2 goals. Right, let me think. Richmond are like playing their best footy of the year right now. Is Clary back? Where's Clary Das?
I've got no idea.
Fuck. Oh, this is what is your ladder say? This is a hard one to pick.
This one
I think it's going to be
has.
a cracker, like a close game.
I need to go back onto my other account. It has, because I worked out the points. It has Richmond 15th and Melbourne 12th.
Mm-hmm.
Plus adding them on. No, it's got taking Melbourne. So take Melbourne. It's saying just by a few points, not by much. It's like pretty much bang on.
So what can I get for $1.30?
So $1.30, we're either getting Richmond plus 30 or we got Melbourne plus 5.5.
Jeez, I definitely think the side to be on there is the Richmond plus 30 side.
Ooh.
I think it's the side to be on.
You think the D's drop it?
I don't think they blow out. I don't think they score enough to blow out the Tigers. Is what I'm thinking.
I just think about the Tigers have been okay. Okay. They had a good last quarter. They were very average for a long time. Melbourne have gone out. They've like what do they show? They beat Collingwood. They beat Brisbane. They show they clawed out a big game against Adelaide. Adelaide are a good side. I think they're a way better side than the Tigers coming into the finals.
Let me have a look. So, yeah, the D's don't get blown out for once. So they've beaten Adelaide by 4 points, Melbourne by 1. Brisbane by 1, St Kilda by 21. They lost to the Giants by 2. They lost to Geelong by 15. They beat Collingwood. They beat Carlton. They beat Freo. They beat Port. All these like under a goal. They play in close games every week. That's what it's going to be. It's going to be close. I'm going to take Melbourne plus. I'm going to go 6.5 at $1.29. I'm going to just make it a full goal.
Yeah.
Because I reckon they're really gearing up and starting to play their best footy towards finals. I think Melbourne are going to be playing in a prelim final. So, yeah, I'm going to go the D's. I do like that Richmond line as well.
You end up doing your ladder predictor?
No, I fucking didn't do it. Did you?
Yeah, I did.
All right, you tell me yours in a sec. I'll sort of do mine while you're doing
We're
it.
both taking Melbourne plus 6.5.
Yeah.
All right, now this game's a fuck. This game's an absolute fuck. West Coast and North, Jev.
This is fucked. Is this unwatchable?
It's unbettable. I think it's a tough game to bet.
440 in fucking WA, the two worst sides ever.
Jev, this is a hard game to bet. At the start of the year, this is the same line.
When they played round 1.
2.
No, it was round.
What was round 1?
Round 1. And North won head to head, and they played fucking well. I reckon same line as the start of the year. I'm pretty sure West Coast were favoured that day by like 10.5 points. Nah, what was the line?
4.5 points.
West Coast?
North Melbourne.
North are favourite.
Remember, everyone thought Clarko's first game.
Oh, that's
home game. You've got all the young kids. If you're going to win one, it's going to be this one. Yeah. And they won. So, and they only won by like 3. So, like, I just missed out. I was like, fuck.
Fuck. North shouldn't be favoured anywhere, but either should West Coast. This is one of the hardest games ever. Neither team should be favoured, Das.
No.
What the fuck?
$1.30, Jev. West Coast plus 23.5 or North Melbourne plus 13.5. 23 or 13.
Oh, you got to take West Coast, don't you? At home. This has got to be like their grand final, doesn't it? Because McGovern was a laid out, Barras was a laid out. If they all play, they just win, don't they? Surely, I think they win this game head to head.
I don't know. I think my heart tells me that they do. Tells me that they get a win.
Oh.
But I'm going North Melbourne plus 13.5.
Neither team has won since round 2, have they?
No. I'd only like North because they beat Freo over there.
Yeah, that was a
They
lot. That was
played.
round two.
They're just Davies Uniacke's better than them.
Yeah, he
He's gonna have.
is.
I'm just West Coast are dog shit.
North don't blow teams out though, do they? They're not
No,
going to win by 4 goals.
13 and a half points.
Yeah, fuck. Who's coaching, Rats or Clarko?
I think Clarko might be
Uncle
back.
Rats or Clarko? No, I think Clarko's back. He's not going over to WA. He didn't have time for that. This is the hardest line of the year.
It is. It's an absolute headache. Like it's. I've been thinking about this game. I went through all of them. You can make a good judgment call on most of the games. This is the toughest game of the year to
It's
bet.
funny, like last week, it was first, second, Collingwood, Port Adelaide, and we're just like, nah, Collingwood with points. They're the best side. They're so good. Bang, Collingwood. Now it's the two worst teams, and you just can't say which team's better because they're both horrendous. But I don't know. I'm going to take the Eagles strictly because they're at home. And I can't believe I'm doing it. I can't believe I'm taking the Eagles. LDU was so good against the Saints. He got the 10 coaches votes, I think. He was so fucking good. North, like, are playing better footy than at West Coast. But 23.5 at home. If you can't cover that against a team that hasn't won since round two, you are the worst team I've ever seen. I've already said that.
What would you take at the line? Would you take West Coast plus 4.5 or North Melbourne minus 4.5?
I'd have to take West Coast. I'd have to.
You want to put something on it? Because I'll
Yeah.
go North.
Yeah. We'll have something
This will
on
be,
it.
this will be the only way I'll watch this game.
Yeah, right. What were you thinking?
Oh fuck, I don't
We'll
know.
just go head to head. Nah, give me the 4 points. I need them. We'll just have
A bottle of wine.
bottle of wine on the pod, or I'll share you a steak or some dinner or a pizza or something. We'll have a pizza on it.
No, what's a bottle? What's a good bottle of
Pinot.
Yeah,
All right, we'll have a $20 bottle of Pinot on it.
done.
So
Thank
I've
you.
got West Coast plus 4.5. You've got North minus 4.5.
This is the only way I'll watch this game. A 20 bottle of Pinot, the Pinot Cup.
It's funny because both our teams, Swans beat West Coast by 170 points and basically lost to North Melbourne, and Carlton beat West Coast twice and Charlie kicked 19 goals. I can't believe I'm taking West Coast, but I just have a feeling about this one game. There's got to be something in the waters over there.
I'm telling you, with my heart, I think that West Coast, I can see them winning it,
Yeah,
but I got to go to North Melbourne because West Coast is so bad.
that is.
They're so bad.
This guy feels like a multi-kill, this one. So what do we got? 9 legs. You go through yours first.
I got Blues plus 34.5, the Cats minus 23.5, GWS Jev, leg of the week, plus 27.5, Brisbane head to head against Gold Coast. We got Essendon plus 20.5, that's a tough one. Power head to head, I've taken $1.41. Hawthorn plus 22.5 against the Saints. Melbourne plus 6.5 to get the job done against the Tigers at home. And I'm taking North Melbourne plus 13.5, Jev.
I am going Collingwood plus 1.5. Geelong minus 23.5. GWS plus 27.5. Brisbane head to head. Swans plus 18.5. Adelaide plus 39.5. Hawthorn plus 22.5. Melbourne plus 6.5. And West Coast plus 23.5. So Geelong are the only minus team I've got. Apart from that, it's all just plus points or head to head. I'm getting $11.70 for my multi. What are you getting?
Yeah, I'm getting just a bit over that, which is good.
Yeah, because you took that Port Adelaide one.
Jeff, I'm telling you, this will be a good week. This is going to be a good week of betting. I really feel it. Now, before we get into, I guess, towards the end of the show, we went to do a bit of a ladder predictor. Fuck, I forgot to sign up to SEN's thing.
Ah, fuck.
Oh well. So, my ladder finished, Jeff.
Yep.
This is what I got. And I didn't give Carlton the first win against Collingwood either. I gave us a loss. I got Collingwood finishing on top.
Yep.
Port second, Brisbane third, Melbourne fourth, Doggies fifth, Cats sixth, Carlton seventh, and GWS eighth.
Right, so Cats Blues 6 versus 7, Dogs GWS 5th versus 8th.
Yep. Pies and Melbourne, and then Port Adelaide, Brisbane.
That is exactly how Melbourne would want it. They'll want to finish fourth. They'll want Collingwood at the G first week because if they
The thing,
lose that, they don't play them again till the grand final. So
and the thing with us, if we happen to finish seventh and we verse the Cats, it's at the G.
yeah, exactly.
It's all at the G.
How many rounds do I have to tip? Just quickly.
Like 5.
Can you can you what's it called? Hey, I'll quickly pause the pod. Everyone will be. I'll take to like a quick pause. Unpause. So I've just finished my ladder predictor. So I've got Collingwood, Brisbane, Port, Melbourne, same as you. I've got Geelong finishing 5th,
Yeah.
Carlton finishing 6th, Dogs finishing 7th. I've got Essendon finishing 8th, Giants 9th, but by percentage. So I'm going to say GWS finish better than Essendon scoring wise, and Giants actually get into 8th. So we've got the same top 8, but I've got a different order. I've got Geelong, Carlton, Dogs, Giants.
So I've got on mine. I've got Giants and Bombers both being 12 and 11, but he'll say Giants will have the better percentage.
Yeah, so do I. And then I've also got Swans and Richmond missing out by 2 points, both with a draw. They're both on 46 points. And then Dogs, Essendon, and GWS all on 48 points for that 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. There's no chance it's going to happen. You know this season's got a few spanners to go, Dust. So you can tell we're both going to be wrong. I'm going to screenshot this for... we'll refer back to this in 3 weeks and we'll go again.
So, we've both got the same top 8. Apart from you got the Bombers. But the top 4, so you've got Essendon, Brisbane finishing 2nd, Port 3rd.
Yep. I had Port dropping a game. They go to GMHBA Stadium. I had them dropping that game. I don't think I tipped against the Lions.
It's going to be interesting. I'm fucking so intrigued. I felt last week, even on the pod, Jeb, we went through, I thought it was an easy week to tip 9. This week is a little bit more difficult.
It'll be good. We're going to debut a new... Instead of Here Comes the Money's dead. It hurts. We're going to debut a new show called Tip 9, Drink Wine. We're going to get a bottle of wine and we're going to tip 9 again and we're going to have $20 on it. And basically it's going to be you, me and the Shark. Shark's on this week. Brownlow update. Can't wait. If we disagree with a tip, it's whoever 2 out of the 3, whoever they say, is who we go. So...
Well, Jeff, can we give a little preview?
No, just wait.
I'll talk to you off camera because I'm fucking... This is... All right. Hey, good pod, Jeff. I'm excited.
See you guys Friday, 100K pod, new show, drink wine, tip 9. Catch you later, guys.